All right, hello. It is just after 8:30 p.m. on February 25th, 2019, and welcome to the weather update. And we got to talk about a lot of the wind gusts and the damage that have happened across our area. Before I even get to that, though, we'll just talk about the skies. Unfortunately, we did not have clear skies over Long Island. New Jersey had partly sunny skies for a while, and then some clearer skies by the afternoon. Just go and you see it, so the clouds kind of broke up a little bit toward the afternoon. But even if you could go out and walk around in the woods today, I don't think it was advisable because of the wind. The wind was extreme today, and we're going to talk about that right now. So here is the public information statement from the National Weather Service on the winds today. And in Connecticut, they had wind gusts up to 64 miles an hour at Greenwich. I'm not going to go over every single area. Inland New Jersey, not quite as bad. But as you head out to Long Island, this is where we have to deal with a lot of the really strong wind gusts. Bayville, a wind gust of 66 miles an hour. Syosset, 59. That's not even by the water. Jones Beach, 55. Wantagh, 51. And then upstate, too, they've had some strong wind gusts. Orange County, 60 mile an hour. LaGuardia Airport in New York City, 58 miles an hour. JFK, 56 miles an hour. Very strong winds. And then for Suffolk County, this is where some of the really eye-popping numbers come from. Orient Point, 69 miles an hour. It just says Orient, but 69 mile an hour wind gusts. Almost hurricane force right there. Eaton's Neck, 66. Great Gull Island, 61. West Hampton Airport in the Pine Barrens, in the Dwarf Pine Barrens, 58 miles an hour wind gusts. Islip Airport, 56 mile an hour wind gusts. Farmingdale Airport, 55 mile an hour wind gusts. So these are very, very strong wind gusts. Westchester, too, got into it as well. And then you also have very strong sustained winds in the 30s and 40s even in some areas. So we had sustained winds, some very strong sustained winds across parts of our area today. Just a very strong wind event that we've had. And of course this caused some damage, so we're going over the storm reports now, and you can see here that some of these are wind gusts. 59 mile an hour gust in Syosset, wind damage in Hudson County, major damage to the roof of a school, wind gust in Orient, that's another wind gusts. These are just the same wind gusts, but we're going over the damage here. Damage, tree down on Sills Road. Here is two 8 to 12 inch trees snapped in a road closure in New Haven County. Yeah, there's been some tree damage, trees and wires down in it looks like Valley Cottage, and then a tree with a car on a car with down power lines at Woodland Lane in East Islip. So some really significant damage from this wind event that we've had, and I want to actually go and look at New Jersey and see there. Now the high wind warning is over, but we have a wind advisory that continues through this evening. It looks like it has been dropped finally for New Jersey, and of course New Jersey's the Philadelphia never puts their link to their storm reports on their page. I don't know why, but at least Upton is a better weather office in my opinion, much better than Philly. Or should I say Mount Holly, because that's where they're really located. But anyway, let's take a look at these wind gust reports here from Mount Holly office in Sussex. This Delaware even had some wind gusts up to 60 miles an hour. So even Delaware was in on this. New Jersey, Atlantic City International Airport, 58 miles an hour. Burlington County in Morristown, 52 miles an hour. Cumberland County in Fortisk, 57 mile an hour wind gusts. Perth Amboy, 58 mile an hour. And then Ocean County, Beach Haven, 60 miles an hour. Tuckerton, 59 miles an hour. Seaside Heights, 53 miles an hour. So you really don't want to be going around, walking around in the woods with these kind of winds for tree branch falls on you. It's very dangerous. It's not recommended. So that's part of the reason why, unfortunately, I couldn't go to the Pine Barrens. But you have to understand, for safety reason and for the sky, I couldn't tell if it was going to be clear or not, but for safety reason, the main important thing is to really not go in and take a chance on getting hurt by falling tree limbs or branches or whole trees for that matter. And like I said, I think the parks may have even been closed as a result. Usually when the winds are this extreme, they'll close the parks down. We'll take a look at some of the observations just from certain sites throughout the day. Winds are still going right now in Toms River. West wind at 23, gusting to 35 miles an hour. And we have a, let's see, looking at the winds here from earlier, you can see, look at some of these winds, gusts to 50. Look in the afternoon, gusts into the 40s and the 50s in the morning. This is really some really extreme wind that we've had here, extreme wind that we've had across the area. So we'll go and look at Long Island and see what the observations are here at the nearest airport, which is Farmingdale. Let's take a look at that and see. We have a 33-degree air temperature, and it's not really that cold, but it makes it feel cold due to the wind. Northwest at 17, gusting to 29 at Farmingdale. And you can take a look at some of these observations again. Some of the gusts in the morning up to 54. And I could hear the wind, too, just roaring this morning, just like they're really just roaring out there. So a lot of wind, and we're going to actually show you what it's like, what it was like earlier this evening in Hicksville. And then we're going to talk about what's to come. I don't know if you can hear it. It's around 10 to 6. The wind's still whipping. Showing you the force of the wind here. You can see it a little easier, though the wind is not as strong because it's being blocked by that building. It was like, it got a little better in the late afternoon when I finally decided to go out and brave it. Now it's getting bad again. High wind warning has been dropped. Maybe a little too soon, in my opinion. That sign should not be up there. I'm just showing you this area, Hicksville. The power is back on in this area, but it was out. The power went out earlier here for a little while, and I think there's some stores that are still closed because of it. I'll just show you briefly. So there was a brief power outage. It was only for about an hour in this area. Looks like there's a sign in this store. No, I don't know. But there was a power outage affecting this area, but it's back now. So. Alright, before we look at the models, I just want to show you the power outage situation. It hasn't been too bad all day, but there are a couple of outages, including, as you saw in that video, there was an outage on the south side of Hicksville along Old Country Road that somebody had told me about, but by the time I got by there, the power had been restored. So not too bad. Only 654 people out. I'm surprised that the impact was not worse. There's some, larger outages around, but surprisingly not too bad. Not as bad as it could have been. We were fortunate, I guess, that the system has been, like I said, PSEG, they've been putting a lot of new poles in and trimming the trees, and I guess you could see the results from that is that we didn't have as many power outages, and the ones that did happen seem to be taken care of pretty quickly. Now, JCP&L is a completely different story. those are all the people that are out. JCP&L over 11,000, and it was up above 20,000 earlier today. And this is for JCP&L in both. They were both in Central Jersey and also in Northern Jersey as well. But we're going to just look at the southern part. You can see a number of power outages that have been around in this area for quite some time. Some of these are large power outages. This one is 101 to 500 customers. So there are some larger power outages out there. As a result, you can see that there are a lot more outages in JCP&L's territory. Despite, I don't know if it's because they got higher wind or JCP&L just isn't doing as good of a job maintaining the power lines. But yeah, this is a lot of power outages for them. Anyway, let's get to the models now. Let's shift focus, looking at the computer models and seeing what is going to be coming next for us, as far as, well, first the sky and then the next weather event. So you can see we had a lot of these clouds around, particularly over Long Island. New Jersey was able to get mostly sunny skies for, I would say, since the after like noon, it was mostly sunny there. But for us, we had mostly cloudy to partly sunny skies across Long Island. The problem for tomorrow is once this moves out, this circulation moves out, you can see what moves in, the cirrus. And according to the GFS, that cirrus is over us all day tomorrow, so we may not get a clear day at all out of this, which is going to kind of suck. You would have to be in New England to get a clear day. See how hard it is to get a clear day? It's just this pattern that we're in is just extremely frustrating. So after that, then we're stuck in the clouds for a while, and we probably will have to wait until the weekend, possibly Sunday or a Monday, when that when this cold front comes through to really clear it out. And maybe it'll clear out. Maybe we might have to wait till Wednesday. So it's very, very hard to get clear days here in the East. Very hard. It's such a rare thing to get a clear day. It's becoming it's really just extremely frustrating at this point. It's like you're grasping at straws, you know. But you can see that we are kind of stuck in the clouds here. And I got to look at the NAM, and it'll show you the same kind of thing here, that we're going to be dealing with these high clouds. The NAM is a bit of a different opinion. Thinks that maybe Long Island won't be having to deal with any high clouds. We'll have to see about that. I have my doubts. And then for Wednesday, yeah, more clouds rolling in. And this is another storm system that we're going to have to talk about. Before I get to that, let's go back to the GFS. Yeah, actually, could show you the storm system on here. That's okay. I'll show it to you on here, and then we'll see. We have a small clipper type system coming in for that period. So you can see here it comes, small, very clipper system, and we could give us a period of light snow overnight, Wednesday into Thursday morning. It doesn't really go far enough out, this model, for us to show you how much would accumulate, but it could be an inch or two, and it would just be mainly from Long Island and north and eastward. GFS, go to the GFS here, and it'll show you the same thing. GFS also has it's just light snow. It probably won't accumulate so much. After that pulls out, we have fair weather, but we could have clouds around. And then another possibly weak system for Friday, probably not bringing us much. And then we have another light system for Sunday. You can see just one system after another. And then Sunday, hopefully, maybe we can get out of it, and Monday. But we have to watch. There could be a stall front to the south, so we'll have to watch that stall front. And then another system there, another one. You can see no real major snowstorms for us. It's just we can't get clear days, but we can't get snowstorms either. And the reason is the same, is because we're on the wrong side of the pattern has just been set up just terrible this whole winter. And I'm going to explain to you why that is in the final part of this video. So let's take a look at the temperatures and see where we're going to be going with the temperatures for this week. So it will be below normal. We do have colder air coming in. We'll be in the mid-30s tomorrow for Tuesday, I think. But tonight it's going to get cold. Probably get down to around 20 degrees. And then for same thing for tomorrow night. And then we'll have cold air in place on Wednesday with temperatures. Wednesday is going to be even colder because the sun won't be out. So we're only going to probably be in the 25 to 30 degree range. That snow comes in, and it gives us a light snow there. And then for Thursday, temperatures warm up to the mid-30s. And for Friday, we have upper 30s to around 40. And then same thing for Saturday. And that front comes through, and then Sunday we see a drop to the mid-30s. And then here comes the really colder air, and this will be when it starts getting cold. Hopefully this will bring us some clear air. For mid-20s on, that's a week from today. And that colder air will stay in place in the Northeast probably for the week. And another like plunge of it on Thursday. Temperatures probably in the mid-20s again, going down to the mid-20s, which is quite below normal for March. But then here comes the warmth again, so it won't stick around, and we still don't have any major snowstorms. And if you take a look at the CONUS as a whole, well, before I do that, let's take a look at the total snowfall forecast in the GFS. Even though I don't use it, just to show you how light this event is going to be, and it barely gives us an inch, so probably an inch or two at most. If I go right through the forecast, look at that, still only, even right through all the way through, you'd have to go to the mountains or even all the way down here to get snow. We can't get snow. It's ridiculous. It's just, I don't like going out in the snow either, but it's part of winter. All right, so I'll change this to the CONUS view, and you will see I'll just change it to temperature anomaly, so you can see where the cold air is in relation to where we are. So, see, again, it just keeps spilling into the west. This area in the west here, the upper Midwest, just keeps getting, it's going to be colder in Oklahoma and parts of Texas than it will be here in the east on Saturday, which is crazy. And you see that cold air goes straight down. Look at that. Goes into Texas. It goes into Texas. It'll be colder in freaking Houston than it'll probably be here. So the jet stream is all screwed up. And the same thing just continues, and it's frustrating. It's really frustrating. I'm curious to see what the actual air temperature is going to be, so I'm going to actually put this over here and see. Yeah, 44. 44 and say, all right, well, we'll be in the 40s too, but it's going to be, the cold shot is just not coming down directly at us, and that's the problem with the jet stream. In fact, I'm going to show you right now what the problem is. All in this whole winter, I'm going to show you. Let me just grab a still right here. Yeah, this is the best example I can give you right here. So again, I'm going to explain to you what the deal is with the pattern, and this is what the deal is. So I'm going to draw the jet stream here, and you're going to see what the problem is basically. And this is the problem. The jet stream wants to come down like this in the west, and then come right up like this. All right. So the problem is the cold air and the clear skies is in this area. All the nice clear skies and the cold air, as well as the snow, are over here in this area right here. All right, as well as parts of the Flagstaff and the Southwest. So even they get, because they're on the back side, they are on the dry side of the trough. All right, or they're on the snowy but drier side of the trough. They're on the clearer side of the trough. This is the clearer side right here. This is the side you want to be on. All right. But the problem is we're over here. We're on the wrong side, so we're on the warm side of it. And as a result of all that, we get the warm air right from the tropics, and that means rain, and that means lots of clouds. And that's why we can't clear out. That's why we're stuck in the clouds, and we're dealing with all these rainstorms and hardly any snow. And this is the problem with this pattern that we're in this winter. And I'm just going to leave it at that. I'm not going to go into, how I feel about global warming and climate change, and that we're in a climate crisis, and who knows what the weather is getting more volatile. But I'm not even going to go into that. I'm just going to explain to you why the pattern this winter has been absolutely awful for clear skies and snow in the east, and why we're really not having a winter. We're not having a winter here in the east at all whatsoever. But out west, they're having a great winter. They're having nice skies. They're having snow. They're getting plenty of cold air. Well, we're kind of just stuck in this, extension of the tropical ridge up the east coast, which really stinks for us. So anyway, that's going to wrap up this weather update. I'm hoping at least we can get some clear skies, but like I said, that's like trying to find a needle in a haystack. You get one clear day a month, you're lucky. It seems like just getting clear weather is just next to impossible this year in the east. So it's just been extremely frustrating for us here on Long Island and in the New York metropolitan northeast area. So take care. I want to thank you for watching, and be safe out there. It's still kind of breezy.